that you kind of see me do in the community. So in the communities, we have unmuted. Um, well, Bert said no sound. Is it the mic? Let's see what Jaden says. Oh, we good now. All right, cool. Let's run that back. Play the push the button. The dun 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 thing. Whatever. All right. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. And this is Big Games B.S., part of Den Media Group, presented by the MFTK Foundation. The MFTK Foundation is basically how I do all my shit in the community, all these different things. I really want to tell you guys something that happened to me, but the MFTK Foundation bailed me out. I have to wait until the thing is closed. I've been told to not speak on this, but if you saw my Facebook post the other day, I ain't taking that shit down. That's what happened. I yeah, I am not happy about that. But right now, first things first, I need everybody who's coming into here to please, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. There are different things that we are trying to continue to do as we grow this channel. Um, I think we've been moving, progressing pretty good through this year, considering it's been a fucking crazy year. It's probably been the busiest year in media that I've had, as well as life. So we've been everywhere. We added new events. We added new things to the broadcast. We've had deaths. We've had celebration of life. A lot of success. A lot of things that have happened this year. And then also we gotta get as much work out of Jaden before before we lose him to becoming one of the greatest. You want to do sports law, right? That's what it was, or you just don't really know yet?
Yeah, I want to do sports.
So
Sports
before
law.
Jaden becomes the new black super agent, because one thing Jaden will have access to is a lot of, actually, you know what? I'm a LeBron James Bryson for you. By the time you're getting done with law school, are you going to go to fast track, like the make not fast? You going to make sure you're going to do your 3 years and be out, or are you going to try to spread it out?
No, I'm gonna try and get it done in 3 years. Yeah, so
Oh yeah, we gonna definitely LeBron James Bryson for Jaden. We're gonna force somebody to get you with McGillicuddy or one of these cats to get you some learning so that you can get one of the best agencies. I forgot I'd be having that kind of pool. Just make sure you remind me when it's time to do some of them internships and shit that we get you where you want to be at. All right. But I'm sure you'll do that. But one of the things we have our MFTK 7-on-7 tryouts. We have a couple parents that really, I promise you, they're going to pay something, but they are struggling. So if you want to partner and help a kid out, you can let me know and I will tell you the exact kid that you're helping out. But if you go to that QR code right there, or you go to mftkfoundation.com, you will be able to pay for a kid to be able to finance a kid through 7-on-7 season. It costs a little bit. We would love to see people get helped out if you want to be able to participate in that. Also, we do have our showcase, man. I'm telling you, man, some of this shit behind the scenes, if it all really hits the way it's supposed to hit, it is going to be a great weekend. Saturday we'll have the big fireworks, but Sunday we may have a special camp for kids with some big time people on this in the social media space that do training. Some of them do that little cha-cha slide shit that I don't necessarily like, but I love to be influenced. Maybe I'm wrong about it. Can't wait to see the guys in action. All I want to do is see kids work, win your reps. We'll have all of the big time media. I'm talking about these guys. I'm talking to these guys. We're going to create magic. And we got guys coming from Tampa, cats coming from Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, and Ottawa, Canada. Maybe, just maybe, BC. As well. And then what's the one that's all the way on the West Coast over in Canada?
Vancouver.
Vancouver. But is Vancouver the city, or what's this? Or did I already say, is that one I don't know. Vancouver, yes. That's that one. We got one. So I was just talking to a guy that it's the way business works. It didn't really work, but like, hey, the dude we got some cats that want to come win their reps. So if you're local and you don't want to win your reps, but everybody else, you have to view the city the way that I see. I'm going to force y'all to love this city. Even if you're from here and you don't like the city. Oh, we got my guy. He changed his name up. What's up, Well-Made Chicken? Hey, let me know when RJ, real talk. If you want to commentate some high school basketball games for our streams, let me know. Just let me know, bro, because I got some work for you. I know you over there with them ops, but like if you trying to grow your brand, let me know. Hit me up. I got you, dog. We come. Brent, I love you. I love Brent Martineau, but y'all been getting fat while everybody starved. It's time to we're going this network. We're gonna call it the Big Game Gridiron Network. We really are finna launch some of this stuff. We're just getting the ground. I didn't know I wanted to be in this business, but all of this stuff is fueled through MFTK because we will be having media internships for young athletes, for young men and women who want to get involved. We will be having a lot of things going on. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go through that. Just wanted to make those announcements real quick as we started. Marlon, you a real one. Marlon got it. Somebody got it. King of New York. Good. I love when people get the references. Miles, we really do need it. So Miles is doing a really, really good job, guys. He's working on our Discord, our DIN Media Group Discord. We do have the movie thing in there, right?
Yeah.
So what we will do, I'm going to say, because I need to chill and relax more. I used to watch a ton of TV and a ton of movies. We are going to remember we did the list of the black movies that people need to watch?
Yeah.
And then we try to do the white movies. That's what we're going to do with our movie time. We're going to have Black Cinema Network or some shit like that. So we're going to put that King of New York, though it's not a black movie, it is a hood movie. You must watch King of New York. You'll see Larry Fishburne. Not Lawrence. Lawrence made it big. Larry Fishburne was a hood dude. You'll see Larry Fishburne in that movie. But we're going to start our show off the same way we start each and every show off with a good old-fashioned word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
My guy Andre Moore said today, we're only practicing twice a week with the youth. The high school, you got to come plug and play. You can play for us anywhere if you come out and you win your reps and you're good enough. But the 15U and the 18U, that's a little bit different. We play to develop, but we play to win. I will cut your ass. You'll see Big Game GM with the green jacket, and that's how we go. That's how we roll it. But as we get into this, again, people still coming into the stream, doing a lot of stuff like that. Let's see what Jaden has to say. What are we talking about today, Jaden?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Big Games BS here on Friday, November 21st. this is your first time at the show, welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games BS, it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. Let's kick this off with our MFTK segment. We already touched a little bit on the MFTK showcase, but we also have a Mandarin University score preview to talk about since they have moved on into the playoffs and are facing off against Pace tonight at Mandarin U. We'll get more into that. But after that, we have some college talk, aka college football talk, starting off with the home team, aka FSU. They do have a game tonight at 8 p.m. against NC State. We're going to dive a little bit into that as well. We're going to touch up on some more FSU news as well before getting into SEC news in this week and coming up for the college football slate of games. And we have the viewing guide to show you guys, although it's not the typical viewing guide. This is going to be the ESPN scoreboard and score updates. And then we have the Hard Rock Parlay Builder for this weekend's college football slate of games. Then we have our NFL segment starting off with the Jaguars Duval's team, then making our way into last night's Thursday night football game. We have a lot of posts to share with you all regarding that game as well. And then we're going to take a look at some division standings and then also touch on some quarterbacks around the league as well before getting into AJ Brown and a Jets player as well. We also have the viewing guide and the Hard Rock Parlay Builder as well before getting into the Big Games BS section for today. This is where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world, where we talk about popular cultural topics that's been buzzing in the media. We have our BS or Bust and food review segment. Also, shout out to Chadwick Boseman, and we have our OG Wildland continuation. But let's start off with the Mandarin University score preview right here, because Mandarin is facing off against Pace tonight at 6:30 p.m. at Mandarin University. So, James, we do this when Mandarin has a game, and we want to know what you think the score prediction is going to be for the Mandarin versus Pace game, and what are you expecting from this playoff game from your guys?
Mandarin, I mean, obviously Mandarin's 10-1. I believe Pace is 9-2. Or they may be 10-1. They really good team from out of the Panhandle. They're going to be a lot like Crestview, physical. They want to run the ball, don't throw it very well, or haven't thrown it. They have 600 yards passing. They average 6 passes a game. On opponents, they have a running back that I believe averages 147 a game. So they're going to really try to line it up, get big on us, and really play smash mouth football on us. And if I'm being honest, that's really been one of our weaknesses down, like, consistently, but only if you have the threat to throw it. So with us having so many DBs, we are literally going to probably just try to lock up the lock up whatever wide receivers they have, and then go from there. They have a fast defense. I mean, a physical defense, excuse me, that limits that area. So you can only critique them based upon what the area of which they play, which is why I tell people we try to play a lot of different variations of teams because styles make fights. We are a fast and physical team. They also have, like, I think 3 D1 offensive linemen or 3 college linemen that are on their squad. So they're going to give us in the trenches on their offense versus our defense is going to give us some problems. Our offensively though, our offense, like, their defense, nothing about it makes sense. I don't think they've ever seen the amount of speed that we have at the positions that we have. So, scoring's not going to be a issue more than likely for us unless we really try to press the issue, which sometimes we are. The best team in the nation that beat Mandarin is Mandarin. We do a really good job of beating ourselves. But I personally think we should win. Crestview Crestviews points were on bullshit. So they scored because we decided to try to run a gimmick play. our quarterback fumbled the exchange, like fumbled the snap, and then essentially the ball got kicked into the end zone. So that's how Crestview scored. And then the one drive that they scored in BS time against our twos is why the game was 42-14. It should have been worse than that. Um, but we we will be more than likely uh I'm gonna go 35. I'm gonna go 35 to like 35-20. Because I do believe you don't get that record on accident, in my opinion. So I'm gonna be respectful, but I do also believe that I have confidence that we're gonna win this game, but there are a lot of things that you have to take into account when you're playing these games. One of which is you have to you got to account for the refs, and we are a heavily penalized team for whatever reason, and it kind of just is what it is when it comes to that. So yeah, but I firmly believe we should win. But what I also firmly believe is that you guys should watch it on the different social media channels. So we will have this on our YouTube. Miles, only on our Twitters do we want to stream it on. Yeah, so like you like we just take the stream from our YouTube, open it like what I did for our basketball game that we streamed yesterday. So only do that because it kind of throws off whatever reason the more streams that you try to do from the initial stream um messes with it. Um and I firmly believe that we should win that game. But again, very good team. But yeah, so outside of that, man, what's offside? Where'd you find that offside preps? Interesting. I'm gonna steal their definitely gonna steal their photo and use it for our stuff. Right there. Um, James, who won that game last night? Oh, Orange Park beat Oakleaf. Um, really bad basketball. Mandarin. We were going to stream some Mandarin basketball games until probably the basketball coach is probably hoping that we lose so he can not get his ass whooped by Duval Charter, because that was stinky right there. But once he gets, but I did tell somebody like when he gets Tion, Bryson, a couple other guys back, man, that thing is they going off. They are destroying people.
Now that we got the MFTK segment out of the way, let's discuss some FSU football that is happening tonight. So, the FSU Seminoles are facing off against the NC State Wolfpack. So, NC State and FSU are playing at 8 p.m. on ESPN in Raleigh, North Carolina. And this is the injury report for the game right here. So, who is out on the Seminole squad? You have Jabril Rawls, DeMonte Diggs, Quindarius Jones, Ricky Knight III, Caleb Lavalley, Ethan Pritchard, Donnie Hibbert. And these are your questionable players for the Seminoles. You have Omar Grimm Jr., Chase Lofton, Samuel Singleton Jr., and Richie Leonard the fourth. So for the NC State Wolfpack, you have a lot more players out compared to the FSU Seminoles, and they have 3 players who are questionable for tonight's game on ESPN. So we just wanted to give you guys an update with the injury and availability status for tonight's game. That is going to be on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just letting you guys know, want you guys to be aware of some of your favorite players and their status for tonight. Speaking of status, there's been some high school players who have updated their commitment status to the FSU Seminoles. We have 2 in particular, one being the class of 2026 defensive back Jordan Crutchfield, who recently was committed to Kentucky but flipped to the Seminoles. He's 6'4" and 210 pounds, and he was committed to the Wildcats since June. We also have another player to shout out as well with their commitment flip, and that is four-star running back Amari Thomas. He was previously committed to the South Carolina Gamecocks, but now flipped his commitment to the Seminoles. So shout out to these two Seminoles who have flipped. And there's also been some other predictions online that there will be some more players who will flip their commitments to FSU. And we would love to see that happen. And we would love to report that to all of the Seminole fans in the chat as well. So shout out to Mr. Jordan Crutchfield and Amari Thomas on committing to the FSU Seminoles. So shout
I
out to the
remember there was a
guys.
lot of people upset about his flip. He's from the Big Bend area, if I remember correctly, and everybody was just like, "Oh, Mike, this is the problem. Mike can't recruit. Mike can't do this. Mike can't do that." And then like you're seeing, well, Mike can. Just we got to just relax and let the process play out. I do get why it's not saying that we shouldn't be upset. We should be upset, but really some things um are going to work out. I think can we let's look up team rankings for 2026 so that we can really be able to adequately discuss this intelligently, right? Um Recruiting is the lifeblood of sports. Football recruiting is something that's big for everybody. Um Considering all of the things that have happened, Mike Norvell has always kind of landed a top 20 class, but and I was just joking about people. So USC right now, nobody is going to beat USC for the number one overall spot. Outside of Alabama, if Alabama can land one more guy, then they'll be fine. You're looking at I'm looking at 247. But that's fine. We can look at this. Florida State's ranked in the same exact place, one under, and that's where everybody's really looking at. You're not looking at the quality of the players that they're getting. You're looking at the overall number. And Florida State is 14 in 247, as well as 14 in rivals. Florida is 13 with less commits, but there are guys like Michigan that have 25 commits. Florida State has 28. So I think Florida State's going to sign over 30 high school kids. They're going to sign over 30 high school kids. They're going to get over 30 high school kids. There's going to probably be a couple more flips that are going to flip backs. Because no matter what this season is, if you've listened to this show and you follow me on social media, do you guys know what season what's always in season? Whenever I get my Hallmark channel, I'm going to call my movie It's Always my holiday movie will be It's Always Get Your Girl Back season. And we got some other guys that we might be able to get back, that we are still entertaining, that are still doing the things. And trust and believe, probably in 26, I'm probably going to get back more into covering some of the things that I know you guys like, which I don't like getting into recruiting because a lot of it is speculation and gossip. But because of what I'm doing with the 707 world and meeting a lot of these different people, I will have a lot more information than what a lot of other people have, and direct information, not just about Florida State, about other stuff. And you'll start seeing us make announcements, make commitments. That's why I really want people to, while you're on this channel, and I want you to continue to like and grow this channel, let's go to Big Games Gridiron, because that's where I'm going to probably populate a lot of that specific information, because this one will be this channel will be more show specific. But yeah, when you look at a lot of these schools, they're your perennial top 10 teams, but look at some of them that are struggling in their, or having disappointments in their way. Florida has a phenomenal off-field department. That's why they are doing what they're doing. LSU doesn't have same thing, no head coach, but the speculation that they know they're going to hire another guy that they will fire in 3 years, like they have been doing consistently. Michigan is again committed. The people who are committed to recruiting for Michigan are not necessarily there with the team. They just know that they're going to be good. Miami's not having the year that they want to have, and they consistently recruit in the top 10. Tennessee, I promise you, their fans aren't happy. Texas, they're ready to get Sark's ass up out of there. USC is having a better year than what they've had. They always are in the top 5. They always are recruiting good. A lot of times we just scream about things that we're because we're upset and we want to win and we should have won. The three of the 5 losses that Florida State have are completely unacceptable, and you're not. Those teams aren't better than you. Miami and Clemson, from a talent perspective, they are. But all of us going to be watching. You want to watch where I got Joe. Where you want to watch the ACC championship? You want to watch it at the Church of Clemson? You want to watch it at the Capital City Cigar Lounge in Tallahassee, or do we want to watch it at Tootsie's in Miami? Like all of it, all of them are competing. Well, the only thing that saddens me, and Miles, did we release the college the draft and selection show presented by Toyota? So, cool. So if you listen to the show, the college football selection show that I do each and every week, you'll learn that the only thing that I'm truly upset about is that, one, I predicted Florida State to win 8 games and come to the Taxslayer Gator Bowl, and they made me look bad. And my tickets would have been the tickets that you would have gotten for as Florida State fans, if you are, would have been Mac Daddy. But if you're a Miami fan, trust and believe you want to come through Big Game and you want to listen to Big Games BS when we give out the tickets for that game, because nobody's going to give you anything better than me. So that's that. I just wanted to show that with recruiting.
Let's talk about the most successful FSU football program. That is the FSU girls soccer squad. So we got some good news from the Lady Seminoles. So they are moving on in the 2025 women's soccer playoffs. So they recently got a W 1-0, and with a second consecutive shutout in NCAA play, the Seminoles advanced to the third round. So shout out to the Lady Seminoles moving on in the playoffs, and shout out to the Lady Seminoles doing their thing on that football pitch. So
I mean, we're a football school. That's what we are. Got to recognize it. Got to be real with it. Love, love that we're winning in all kinds of sports. Which is why I always, when people say we're gonna fire Mike Alford, I'm like, you're crazy. Like he's doing pretty good in all the other sports, and football isn't. It just isn't performing to the level in which we wanted to perform. But it'll get there.
let's get some more insight into this UF coaching search. So, according to On3, Florida is set to meet with the Tulane head coach John Sumrall. They recently met with Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin, and now On3 has reported that Florida is meeting with another potential candidate for that head coach spot. James, what do you know about the Tulane head coach John Sumrall, and how plausible is it that he will become that next UF head coach, or are they just shuffling around the cards in their prospective decks?
We just had in there that somebody put that it's canceled, that the meeting was canceled. But we'll talk about. Let me text my people. My guy ain't hit me up in a minute. What's going on with the searches? The LSU coach. I'm not LSU coach. One, wouldn't it be ironic that you fired your coach early? That was winning. Had one bad year. To go into Louisiana to hire a G5 coach, to hire him, to fire him, and then hire another G5 coach from out of Louisiana. Like, this is what have I consistently said about firing coaches firing coaches early, or firing coaches right now? Again, I'm not going to stoke your emotions. I am with you. It's not the standard, but there's still a way to handle business and be logically in it. And I keep asking people, show me a time where it worked. And it never has worked. It never has worked. Consistency and backing the coach has. Or you go the NFL route and you hire a retread. I believe it'll work for Virginia Tech because Virginia Tech landed Franklin. And now, I don't know if we're talking about, I don't want to skip ahead of it, but, and hopefully, do we have are we going to talk about James Franklin, Jaden?
I didn't have anything in particular in here.
Okay.
But
It's a tweet out there, if you can find it. The reason why I know it will work with James Franklin at Virginia Tech, go look. Penn State fired James Franklin for not being able to win and not recruiting. Go look up who's coming to Virginia Tech this weekend for the game. It has the potential to backfire like a motherfucker for Penn State. This is what happens when you hire a retread. They can actually work. You know, the only thing that James Franklin has to worry about is auditing his current roster. So watching them play and practice and recruit. Penn State had a pretty decent class coming in. So now he's going to go right there and go. That's right where he's going to go. That's right where a lot of his guys are going to come. Only because like Ole Miss has Lane Kiffin, right? If you're trying to hire a really successful coach, the way that college football is going, the early signing period does not help you. The early signing period actually hinders your progression. It hurts you because it's before, if I remember, it's the Wednesday after conference championships. And if Lane Kiffin feels like he's on the trajectory to go to the college football playoff, why the fuck would he go to Florida and not ride that out? I just want you to use logic and reason over emotion at some point. When we fired Taggart, there was a reason they fired Taggart. They missed, though. You hire a retread so that he can create stability. That's why you do it. I was wondering the same thing, Bert. I don't know what the fuck the @ thing was. That's kind of weird to me. It's throwing me off. I just like your regular names. But like, you're creating like, I'm not like in you win 10 and you have to adjust to what the new climate is. You're not gonna. I got news for you guys. It's very difficult to go. It was difficult to go undefeated before. That's why most national champions had one loss, and there's some instances where they had 2 losses. You're going to more of an NFL mindset where I joke with people is win 10 and you're in. Win 10 and you're in. That's it. Just win 10 games. You think he can't win 10 games at Virginia Tech? By hiring the coaches the way that you're hiring them, you're actually going to put yourself in a position, firing the coaches and hiring practices that are antiquated. You're actually going to put yourself in positions. You're actually going to put yourself in a position to have to forfeit year 1 anyway. So you're going to have 2 years of misery, and you're literally going to have to like most of your energy is going to be spent in trying to maintain and keep who you believe are there already. And then you're going to have to go do the thing that everybody says that they hate doing. You're going to have to hit the transfer portal to bring in a bunch of other new kids. Those are just, when you write it down and you read it out loud, that's just the way the game is. Don't blame me. I was given this world. I ain't make it. So if you're not hiring a retread, then what you need to do is look at what you currently have and what do we need to do to enhance it. Personally, I don't care about hiring and firing as much as other people do. What I do care about though is enhancing and develop, editing and enhance. Edit and enhance. I was what I said. Like the repeal and replace that was the mantra years ago, and it made shit worse as opposed to just edit and enhance. Increase your firepower. Like again, when you go, if we can pull up that the recruiting thing again. If you look at the team, not that one, the team rankings for recruiting. If you look at the team rankings for recruiting, all you're going to see is you're going to see some top teams that have very, very healthy off-field recruiting departments that go and develop relationships. Right now, you know what that number 3 team, you know why they're going to stay up there? Have you seen what what Uncle Phil said? Unlimited NIL. While we're complaining, you're paying too many players, that's the nature of the game. You can either adapt or die. Now, I'm not saying all money is good money. You can't pay everybody $1 million. You can't be wasteful with your spending. And Kirby can miss me with that shit. Kirby been paying Kirby, y'all been paying players since forever, dog. All I'm saying is Bob until it's not. That's always gonna be my favorite joke. But all talk, but real talk, like just find a way to make sure we have something that can stop the sinking. That would be, and somebody put Gus Malzahn reportedly might be thinking, going to Arkansas. Then, God bless. Go do your thing, bro. If you want to go be a head coach again, Arkansas has their head coach. I don't know why they're entertaining everybody else. Just again, firing a coach over dumb shit has made Arkansas irrelevant again. They ain't had nobody better than Bobby Petrino. You fired that man because he was cheating on his old lady with some young pussy. You fired a guy for getting some young pussy. It doesn't make any sense. You didn't bring him there because he's a saint. You brought him there to win fucking football games. If getting young pussies helping that man win football games, man, y'all should be giving him some more. I don't understand. Like, again, that's my bad. A little off topic. Bottom line is that's why I'm saying if Derek Ray is the GM, and I have no problems with D Ray, give D Ray some more help. If D Ray isn't the GM, then go find a guy, go up and do what my guy up in go get my guy up in Philly. And the reason why he didn't go to Florida is because they wanted him to answer directly to the head coach. And he's like, I don't do that in the NFL. Let me handle my back office stuff as a GM and then do this. And understanding he understands contracts because he's had to deal with them. But like either get more help and do more stuff. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you put it, we've seen it work. You know, when LSU was robbing children's hospitals, Eddie O won a damn national championship. Ain't nobody asked Ed Orgeron to get on the board and draw some shit up. That's all I'm saying, man. But I digress. That's where we go. My bad, Jalen. We went a little long on that, but that's just, my thoughts on that. It's really not hard. It ain't really as hard as y'all think it is.
Tennessee is looking to snap the losing streak to the University of Florida this weekend because the Volunteers have lost 10 consecutive games in the swamp. The last time they won on the road in Gainesville was in 2003. The last time the Volunteers faced off against the Florida Gators at Florida was in 2023, which resulted in a 29-16 victory for the Gators. James, if I was a betting man, it looks like I would put my money on Tennessee this year to break that streak. But you never know in college football in the swamp. But who do you have this week against who do you have this week when it comes to the Volunteers versus the Gators at the Swamp?
Damn. That's nuts. I'm gonna be honest with you. Florida's the most Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team out. They've got a good defense. Their quarterback can throw when he wants to. Swamp is a tough place to play. They got a lot going on. And one of the things that when you cut off the head, other things have to replace. So like now, like when Florida last time Florida fired their coach, FSU was in position to make a bowl game, right? That was Anthony Richardson in the Swamp, right? So that's what's scary about it. That's why we got to win tonight. Please, Florida State win tonight. I don't want to go to Florida like needing to win that game to win because that's the 5-7 year. And they fired, their coach. And you know what Dan Mullen, when you know who the head coach is, you know what to expect. We're still trying to figure this shit out. Lagway might go run the fucking wing T tomorrow. But I'm definitely putting my money on Tennessee though. If I had to place money. If I had to place money on it, I will put it on Tennessee. But
We're going to put a pin in that conversation because we're going to be looking at the college football games that's going to be happening this weekend and build a potential parlay out of that as well. So shout out to ESPN. It looks like Projection Sports has gotten a little bougie with their account. So they're only going to be posting the college football slate of games on Saturdays. So that's why we got to switch back to this ESPN, doing it a little bit old school, if you will, but nevertheless, still going to give you the content. So tonight, just like how we were saying, FSU is facing off against NC State. Both have a 5-5 record, and this is going to be at 8 p.m. on ESPN as well. Hawaii and UNLV are facing off on FS1 at 10:30 p.m. as well. So we're going to be scrolling down the list and looking at some notable games this weekend. So we are on Saturday, November 22nd. Rutgers is facing off against Ohio State. Sanford at Texas A&M. Missouri at Oklahoma. Miami at Virginia Tech. You have the ACC matchup between Louisville and SMU as well. Scrolling down, Charlotte is facing off against Georgia. Washington State at James Madison. Eastern Illinois at Alabama as well. Then some more games in the mix. You have USC at Oregon at 3:30 p.m. on CBS. Syracuse at number 9 Notre Dame. Kentucky at Vanderbilt. Arkansas at Texas. You have an ACC matchup between Duke and North Carolina as well. Number 24 ranked Tulane faces off against Temple at Lincoln Financial Field. Kansas State versus Utah. Michigan at Maryland. TCU at 23 ranked Houston. Moving on. You have Pitt facing off against number 16th ranked Georgia Tech. Tennessee at Florida at 7:30 p.m. Number 21 ranked Illinois faces off against Wisconsin as well. Another ACC matchup between California and Stanford. BYU faces off against Cincinnati. And then you have Arizona State, the 25th ranked squad, goes up against Prime and Company in Boulder, Colorado. And that finishes out your meat and potatoes of the games in college football this weekend. So with those games in mind, let's transition from ESPN to Hard Rock to look at the odds and build the parlay for this weekend. So, James, with the first game here on this list, we need your props you're going to utilize and a score prediction for Florida State at NC State.
uh, anything can happen. I'm gonna go with Shout out to Jonathan Gilchrist too, by the way, for the $10 super chat donation. Um, mm. I just had to. I couldn't predict this to. You know what? We've lost every fucking close game, right? If we're gonna win, we're gonna win by two. We're gonna win. We're gonna If we're gonna win, we're gonna win. So I'm gonna go with us minus. I'm gonna go with us with the -6.5. I begrudgingly picked that.
So these are your top 25 matchups right here. We'll just go down through the list and see which teams and odds you're gonna pick.
Man, could Rutgers shock the world? Nah, nah. If I was gonna take that, I'm taking Rutgers with the points. That's it. Um, uh, Oklahoma. Something about Virginia Tech in the points intrigues me. Yep, fuck Miami. Give me that. Not touching Charlotte, Georgia. Oregon might win, but I would take USC with the points. Oregon hasn't been like very Oregon lately. Like, Oregon's normally like they play somebody. USC is pretty a lot better. I almost want to take them plus 300 because I know somebody has to fall. I'm not touching Syracuse, Notre Dame, and I know he's not going to be bathing tomorrow. I think Vanderbilt will. Mm, who did Kentucky just beat? Mm, I don't think. I think Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt is good, but I think it's about the momentum's about to fall out of that. Give me Kentucky straight up. Um, Texas money. Texas no. Texas 9.5. Tulane 9.5. I'm not touching the Mormons. I'm not touching Michigan. Houston -1.5. I don't know what's been going on with Pittsburgh. But with Tech, but give me Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh and Tech is like is a playoff game right now. For you know what? Actually, don't give me that. No, I don't want to do the over. Yeah, give me that. I would think about taking the over. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Tennessee -3.5. If we're going to bet. I ain't messing with Illinois, Wisconsin. I don't know enough about that. BYU -3.5. Oh, hell yeah. Hell, I get plus one? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Give me the Fighting Dillinghams. I know I'm not gonna hit this, but I'm just gonna if I'm putting $5 on this, you don't have a 13 game pot. Are you missing 2 games? I'm gonna put some parlay insurance on that bad boy too for me. But if I, I like that. If I hit my parlay, we'll have a special blessing for everybody. So for those who are for members, we'll have a special blessing for members. But as Miles says, come on, James, you got enough. No, it's not enough. I don't believe in winning anyway, so why not just try to believe the impossible? So I got that one parlay out of my system. So all right, let's go to the next one. Next one.
Now we are at our NFL section for the show. Our first topic in this section is none other than the home team, aka Duval's team, aka the Jaguars. So we actually got some news regarding the health status of players on the Jags. So the Jags are facing off against the Arizona Cardinals this week on Sunday. So these were the players present or actually not present at the Jaguars practice, and this post was done on November 20th, aka yesterday around 12:24 p.m. So these are the players who were not spotted at the Jaguars practice: defensive end Trayvon Walker, cornerback Jarian Jones, linebacker Yasir Abdullah, and offensive lineman Chuma Udoga. So non-contact, this is Travis Etienne, Dennis Gardeck, and cornerback Jordan Lewis. So just wanted to share these player statuses with you all for any of my Jaguars fans out there, so you know which players are taking the field against the Arizona Cardinals this weekend on Sunday. Speaking of Jags, James, we actually have some insight into Trevor Lawrence because he is on a historical path right now. So Trevor Lawrence needs 38 passing yards to pass David Garrard and move into the third place in Jaguars franchise history. So it seems like he's going to be third. He's going to be in third place after this weekend's game against the Cardinals, but just wanted to.
There's nothing I can say that's going to sound positive. I don't want to sound negative, but I mean, we are so. No matter what the occasion, mid gonna sell, dog. Like this man, the truth is because he's gonna play through his contract, and Trevor Lawrence is gonna have damn near every Jaguar record except for things that matter. The best quarterback in Jaguar history is Mark Brunell. And Mark Brunell's stats will pale in comparison to Trevor Lawrence's stats. But you know what Mark Brunell did for the Jaguars 2 times? Made it to the third round of the playoffs. Almost to the Super Bowl. You know what I can add to? You know who the second best quarterback in Jaguar history is to me? Guy who led him to the third round of the playoffs. The BOAT. Blake Bortles. David Garrard. I think they have the same amount of playoff wins. Like he'll probably it's just like man, it's so like he ain't gonna give you no pussy, dog. Like y'all don't have to defend him so fucking hard. Like nobody, like yes, he's our franchise quarterback. That doesn't mean we have. You know who else was our Byron Leftwich was our franchise quarterback for a while, and people destroyed him, and he ain't had nobody to throw to either. Like just God damn, man. Sometimes I just want us to just chill out, but nevertheless, what they're saying is true. So, hey, cannot hate on that. Good for the boat. I mean, good for Trevor Lawrence, and hopefully he does better.
Well, it looks like you're about to hate a little bit more, James, because shout out to Daniel Griffiths because he supplied the Twitter universe with this interesting statistic regarding your franchise quarterback, James. So let's take a look. So Quote, a pretty wild Trevor Lawrence stat. Trevor Lawrence has 0 interceptions when trailing this season, and 7 of his 8 total interceptions have come with a lead while he was in the game. So what does this mean? This means that out of Trevor Lawrence's 8 total interceptions this year, one of those 8 interceptions came when him and the opponent were tied, and 7 of those interceptions came when the Jaguars were actually leading into the game. When the Jaguars were losing to their respective opponent, Trevor Lawrence has thrown 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions on the year. Trevor Lawrence has 11 passing touchdowns this year and 8 interceptions
You know what this
as
tells me?
well.
That Trevor's going to be the next one. They got Chauncey, but they got my dog Chauncey jammed up. Yeah, Trevor's gambling on the fucking games. That makes no fucking sense. You're winning and you play worse. That means we're taking more risk when we're winning. Like, you want to protect the ball when you're winning. You don't want to. Like, what's wild is if he didn't throw the 7 interceptions while leading, he wouldn't have all the yards that he has trailing. It's easy to it goes to what I said. Trevor Lawrence can't win you a game. Look at it. The stats tell you that Trevor Lawrence can't, because you're winning and he's failing.
Like, oh God, we're winning. Now we have all these expectations.
It's like he folds. Like, you know, I just, man.
When no one expects you to win, he just plays loose, maybe.
That could be it, but you know that's probably a part of it. That's probably very good. Like I would concede that. But shit, bro, like man,
That's crazy.
that is wild. Like, just don't lose us the game, dog.
Literally the definition of folded.
And people, bro, like I swear to God, I woke up this morning and put on the damn old bird. I put on the X app and it was birds out there chirping, bro. Like for the Trevor Lawrence haters that don't understand that he's better than David Garrard and he's really not. He's a franchise quarterback. And no, we don't. No, we can have expectations and say like, bro, like that is a fucking wild. Do you Hold up. I'm sorry. I can't. I cannot. I have to. I don't even know how to like. First, I put on my guy Delphonic. Delphonic, I love Delphonic. When we had Delphonic's the king of fucking like me. Like Delphonic. Do you remember Delphonic, Miles?
No,
Delphonics was listening to us way back in the 10 days. It was taking our stuff, clipping it, and making all kinds of like videos. Like Delphonic got a media library that's the most impressive. Like I would hire Delphonic as a social media guy just to put up videos and memes of things that we said. But I have to talk to somebody. This is when, because I feel like I'm crazy because it bothers me. I'm going to be on his show, so he's got to do it for me. He's got to return the favor, even though most media has real jobs. What's going on, bro? Brother, I'm sorry, dog. I have to call you. I have to ask you. I'm not trying to be critical of. I like Trevor, right? But I've tried, and you know, I know people. I don't know ball. I'm coming to the conclusion that I don't know ball, bro. Can you explain this to me? Forget who it is. Just can you explain this to me? A quarterback, his stats while trailing, right? He's 72 of 117 attempts. He's got, so forget don't even worry about it. What was that? It's 834 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. A 91.6 quarterback rating. When trailing, he's down. The game's not won, right? It's pretty good when you're trailing, right? When tied, he's 59 of 92, 560 yards, 5 touchdowns, and only 1 interception when you're tied. Right now, we're pretty good. But when he's leading, that means we're winning. He's 71 of 129. Market incompletion ratio, like really low. 757 yards. He has 3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yeah.
When leading, winning a game.
Yep. He's giving the game back.
So when people say it's his fault, could one deduce that he doesn't want to win? He's adverse to winning.
If you take a look at my Twitter from yesterday afternoon, 15 hours ago, I put up every single one of those interceptions and when they happened in the game. So you can see what the score was and you can see what quarter it was. And when I tell you, I know it's not all Trevor's fault. I know some of his wide receivers, quarterback communication, blah, 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 whatever. But at the end of the day, they're all happening in critical moments and he's giving other teams chances to get back in the game. It's like he's just immune to taking the free lunch, just to taking the lead, just to taking the game. And he just has to make these crazy decisions sometimes. And again, it's not all him, but a lot of it is him. But he's a big part of that conversation. That dude, I don't get it, but I've always said it. I didn't think he was a smart quarterback.
Like, wouldn't we want that flipped? Like, when leading, we want you to have a higher completion percentage, less touchdown to intercept. Like, because like, if we were leading and you're throwing these interceptions, maybe we wouldn't be trailing.
I mean, that's a fair point. It's weird, man. Like, again, you're allowing teams to take victory like from the hands of defeat from the hands of victory at that point. Like, you're fine when you have to come back because you're a great gunslinger. We've always known that. But can you just be the guy? That's Trevor Lawrence's problem is the problem that I have with the Jaguars across the board. You are a great team when you are hunting somebody, but you are bad when you are being hunted. And that's Trevor Lawrence's DNA.
And well, I'll tell you, you know whose fault that is? It's the leaderships. Because I keep telling him, we did it last game. I know he's listening to me because he literally stole my whole flow word for word, bar for bar about Trevor Lawrence, about making him a point guard. I ain't never heard nobody say that until I said it. That's one. And I said, put a governor on him like we did Blake Bortles. And they put a governor on him. He wasn't throwing it that much last week. And matter of fact, and then lessen his fuck ups to under 3. And
still had to win the second quarter.
He tried. He really tried. Like he can't help himself. Anyway, all right. Because I wanted to call the ball knower. I don't know. I have come to the conclusion that, just the regular beat that never played, they know, and that doesn't mean you don't know ball if you never played. It's just, maybe I don't know ball because I'm a Trevor Lawrence critic, not a hater, just a critic of the highest paid employee of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that just doesn't seem at least optimal, right? That's not optimal quarterback play. Can we at least come to that conclusion?
I'm arguing with people that I thought understood general nuances of football, and I'm like, bro, I can't even talk to y'all before. I'm drawing lines in the sand with folks that I was like, that I've always thought, like, all right, I see you watch the tape. I know you know what you're talking about. And how are you coming to this conclusion about this guy? But if I put that dude in a different jersey, you wouldn't be saying the same thing. You won't be him and hawing about, well, it's everything around him. Nah, man, you'd be like, that nigga sucks. Like, exactly. That, I don't think it's very difficult there. So yeah. I don't understand it.
All right. Well, cool. All right. It bothers me, man, because I don't like feeling like I'm not a bully. I don't like picking on people, but I'm just like, I know what I'm seeing and it don't seem right. It just seems weird.
But at least I will acknowledge, at least there might be a small turnaround that you might be seeing. I don't know if it's there yet. I want to be clear in saying it, but since the bye week at least, I will acknowledge that it's been better than it was before the bye.
Last week was amazing. I'm not even suggesting we get rid of him. I'm just suggesting that we stop making him do things he's not good. I don't do things I'm not good at. So I wouldn't want anybody else. I wouldn't want that. He clearly throwing the football and when we're winning is something he's allergic to.
Not good at, but like you a quarterback, you gotta throw the ball though. So like,
Well, just make it easier, like just quicker, like stop. Yeah, you know.
But they did. Think about this for a second, bro. They took over. You ain't seen. When was the last time you saw a screen pass from the Jaguars? Think about it.
Good point.
You ain't. He was struggling throwing screens. They were just like, all right, cool, throw out the playbook. You ain't seen a screen pass in probably 3 weeks to the running backs or the receivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't seen a lot of the short stuff
Hey,
either.
I gotta take this. I got a top secret call coming in, but I'll let you. All right. Yeah. Hey, Miles, mute my mic. Jaden, take over. What's up?
All right, everybody, for all my Jags fans in the chat, then you probably heard this conversation between James and whoever was on the other end of the phone call. We were just discussing the Trevor Lawrence dilemma in Jacksonville. Just want to reiterate this post before we move on to the Thursday night football game, that when Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars are leading in the game, Trevor Lawrence actually performs worse than when the Jaguars are ahead of their opponents. You can see from the stats right here. But if you want to take a look at this tweet, this was by Daniel Griffiths. This is on his account. This was posted yesterday at 5:05 p.m. So it's not deep in his feed. Now, let's take a look at the Thursday night football matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. This was a defensive juggernaut game from the Houston Texans. Cannot wait to break this game down. But before we get into the post associated with this game on social media, let's look at the nitty-gritty box score and team stats from this game. So Josh Allen went 24 of 34, throwing for 253 yards, an average of 7.4 yards per completion. He had 0 touchdowns on the day, and he threw 2 interceptions as well. This was Josh Allen's first Thursday night football loss of his career. He was previously 8-0 before this matchup with the Houston Texans. And we cannot ignore the sacks column because Josh Allen got sacked 8 times, losing 70 yards with those 8 sacks. Those 8 times being sacked is the most amount of sacks in a game in Josh Allen's career. Also, with Josh Allen this year, he's been sacked 3 or more times a game, 5 times this season. Compared to last season, that only happened 1 time, and that was including the playoffs as well. So Josh Allen is getting met with some serious pressure, and it doesn't help that he went up against the Houston Texans, who have the best defensive edge duo in the league. So let's continue to talk about the Buffalo Bills. James Cook, one of the best running backs in the league this year, did his thing for the squad. 17 carries, 116 yards, and a rushing touchdown. He averaged 6.8 yards a carry. And let's take a look at the receiving core for the Buffalo Bills. Their lead receiver was Khalil Shakir. He had 8 receptions for 110 yards on the game. And Khalil Shakir also had a fumble as well for the squad. But let's take a look at the Houston Texans offense. So Davis Mills replacing CJ Stroud, who's dealing with injury, went 16 or 30, 153 yards, 5.1 average per completion, and threw 2 touchdowns with 0 interception as well. But he had 0 sacks compared to Josh Allen getting sacked 8 times. Woody Marks had 16 carries for 74 yards. And let's take a look at the receiving core for the Texans. Nico Collins led the squad in receiving yards with 55 yards with 3 catches. Christian Kirk, former Jag, 5 receptions for 54 yards and a receiving touchdown. And huge shout out to Jaden Higgins, one of my first interviews I did. He got 4 receptions for 38 yards and a receiving.
Wait, hold on real quick. You said a name. Can you scroll down? I want to put the arrow over that name. He's under Nico Collins. Yeah. Do you know where he played at? 5 catches, 54 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had 6 attempts. I don't even know if it was a drop or if it was an overthrow. He had no drop problems before he came to Jacksonville. He was in Buffalo, caught everything. Actually, he was the possession receiver in Buffalo. He came to Jacksonville, he dropped everything, and now he's at Houston, and he's catching everything again. I just want people to I'm not here to say anything. I'm just here to just point out shit. Like, just like if we need to get like, what is this, that sci-fi weird music?
I'm not telling you what to think of.
Yeah.
If you want to.
I'm just, listen, hey, that don't smell weird. That don't feel weird to anybody. They weren't dropping before they came. Then they came and they started dropping, and then they leave and they stop dropping again. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jaden. You did a good job. Sorry about that. I got some information, some intel that I needed to pose.
So, continuing on with the Texans, let's talk about that defense, man, because, man, the Texans showed you why they are the number 1 defensive team in the league. They showed a statistic last night on Thursday Night Football, courtesy of Prime and Next Gen Stats, that the Houston Texans had the lowest EPA. EPA stands for expected points added. So pretty much the lower the number, the lower the chance of the other team scoring. They were there at the top of the list above the Broncos and the Rams. So those are your top defensive teams, and it shows you why the Texans are one of the best teams in the league on that defensive side of the ball. So let's take a look at this. The Texans defense had 11 tackle for losses, 12 QB hits, 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery as well. Shout out to the Texans defense, and shout out to Will Anderson, man. He had 6 total tackles, 3 of them were solo, and he had 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass defended, and 3 QB hits. And his edge duo, Daniil Hunter, 6 total tackles, 3 of them were solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackle for loss, and 3 QB hits as well. They had a field day with Josh Allen. So we're going to go back to ESPN and take a look at these team stats before we get into all the posts associated with this game. The Houston Texans had 1 more first down compared to the Buffalo Bills, but the Houston Texans were awful on third down. They were 2 of 12 on third down conversions, while the Buffalo Bills were 5 of 16. The Buffalo Bills were 3 or 5 on fourth down conversions, while the Texans were 1 of 1. So
how the fuck did they lose? Because I didn't watch any of this game. I want to know. This right here is when James. I thought you said good D and top would win your games. Like, hey man, shit happens, bro. Like sometimes you can have the best D in the world and then be just giving it all up to people, and the top is amazing. Oh, never mind. 3 turnovers. Well, no, when I look at, bro, like, go scroll up, Jaden. Like, if what if I told you that a quarterback had 253 yards passing, the running back had 116 yards rushing, and the other team barely put over 200 yards, and they didn't just win, they got whooped in NFL standards. Like, that's what this shit was, bro. But now I see 3 turnovers. Like, Houston's defense did bend don't break, but like that's wild.
Buffalo got a real problem.
Buffalo, yeah, they got to figure it out. Like, did they? Was it pick sixes or like just short fields?
No, the last interception was the last play of the game, so they pretty much had 1 fumble and 1 interception during the meat and potatoes, the bulk of the game. But it was just scary for Josh Allen, especially in the fourth quarter. Those sacks started to ramp up, the pressure started to ramp up even more for the Texans defense as well. They both had similar amounts of penalties. The Bills had 6 penalties, losing 54 yards, while the Texans had 5, losing 40. But the key to this game was the sacks and yards lost. The Bills had 8 sacks, well, the Texans sacked the Bills 8 times, making them lose 70 yards. So that's the bulk of the game. So let's get into some post courtesy of the ESPN Insights and other outlets as well. So speaking of those 8 sacks, let's take a look at this. Josh
That
Allen.
is a wild. That is wild.
Caught me off guard.
That is amazing. Hold on.
So Josh Allen was pressured on 33% of his dropbacks versus the Texans and took a career high 8 sacks. On those dropbacks, Allen produced
like
only one
abuse.
first down. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for him. So let's take a look. Courtesy of Next Gen Stats.
Hold on real quick, Jaden. Hey, man, why were y'all out here abusing people, man? Why are y'all out here like that's like child abuse what y'all did to Josh Allen?
Bro, them niggas, they say it like this. I'm in the gym too, so I got you on speakerphone.
I got you on speakerphone, but you know, say whatever the fuck you want to say now. Shit.
Wait, am I on your show?
Yeah.
See, you see how that's the setup. You see how you set me up? That's what something ain't right. You normally don't just call me out of the blue. You about to have me be all flavored. I'm thinking you called.
It was good. I loved it in me. I'm just listen. This isn't
call me Stephen A. Smith,
bro. Bro. I'm not on terrestrial radio anymore, so I don't have a drop button. So, but that was good. It was a good little well placed thing. You're the Texans, like you're the Texans guy. So I need to know, like, you know, fuck what y'all did to us because I don't like you right now. But what y'all did to the Bills is cool. Like that was wild. Like, that was eight sacks. Jaden, put up the picture again. That looks like a domestic violence poster. I'm not to make light of that, but I'm just saying it looked like the dude just looks disgusted at Josh Allen. No, not that one.
You still hear me, James?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I have to put my headphones on.
Yeah, that one right there. Sacked 8 times, man. Man.
Hey, let me tell you something about these dudes in that locker room, that defensive side of the ball. They take everything personal, James. Everything is personal to them. And I don't know if you've seen the graphic or not, but nobody picked them to win except one person. I don't even remember who it was, but nobody. Everybody was like, "Oh, coming off of 6 touchdowns, Josh Allen is going to be ready for this Texas defense who blah 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 blah." Well, they heard that, James. They hear everything, and everything that they don't hear, I make sure I reiterate it to them to piss them off even more. And so they heard that, and they wanted to prove a point. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If Will Anderson Jr. isn't in contention for Defensive Player of the Year, then everybody who got a vote needs to just go ahead and be stripped of that. Last night they took it personal, and James, you know, they haven't played very well on prime time in prime time games. I think their last win came against the Cowboys last year, so they knew that the whole world was watching, and they wanted to show and prove why they are the number 1 defense in the NFL.
Man, they sure did that, man. That was impressive. 2.5 sacks, I believe, by Will Anderson. I really wish you would have told me that because I would have put my free $10 hard rock bet on him instead of Devin Lloyd, who Devin Lloyd was doing very well at the time before he took a break. Like Devin Lloyd has like 6 interceptions or something crazy this year. But like Will Anderson definitely, you're 100% right, definitely does that. They're doing all of this. Now the offense was stinky. They're gonna have to eventually get that figured out. What's going on with CJ Stroud? How long is he out? You know, what is that like?
So CJ will be back on against the Colts next week. Because of it was a short week, because of that turnaround after the Tennessee game they had to play Thursday, it was just too early to try to rush him back and to get him, you know, back in practice the way that they need him to be. He practiced last week in a limited capacity, but he wasn't. It just wasn't enough time. Here's the crazy part about it, though. Real quickly, back to the defense side of the ball. That defense played the way that they played last night, and they didn't even have Jalen Petrie, one of their another hard-hitting cover DB slash linebacker. Because I always tell him all the time, hey, bro, you really, like if we keep it a buck, you really a linebacker playing a defensive back position because, like, they all are physical and they all like to hit, but They get C.J. Stroud back against the Indianapolis Colts next week, which is going to be a very, very, very good game. Now, James, now that I got all of that, professional stuff out of the way, hey, bro, these N-words some dogs, man.
Mhm.
They just some dogs. And the way that they play, Daniil feeds off of Will. Will feeds off Daniil. And then while they're feeding off each other, you got Aziz in the middle that's just like, bro, Aziz played so hard last night that he was walking so slow out of the locker room. He said, Sarge, I gave up. I can't.
That's the terrorist that always keeps messing with Trevor, right? That's the one who keep hitting people late. Like, he plays like a domestic terrorist, even though his last name suggests that. But I love that on the football field about him. Nothing wrong with it.
So-
Just the way he plays.
Well, hey, look, James, you played football at the highest level. What do they tell you? Keep your head on the swivel, man. You don't want to get hit. Then you look around and see who's coming. That is a heat-seeking missile.
Ain't mad at it.
Who went undrafted and still has that chip on his shoulder. Play like he's trying to play for a starting position. So
I got one more question for you because then I gotta go. Gotta wrap this up. But like, there's a young man that you guys have. Well, I was right about one of them. Actually, I think I was right about both. I think I told you the truth about both of them. One guy I told you the only time I've ever seen him be tough was when he was going after our pumpkin spice princess and Mia O'Brien, and he's out of there now. Cam Robinson, right? I told you he sucked. I don't remember what I told you about Christian Kirk though. Is Christian Kirk having a problem catching the ball out there? Because it looks like he got targeted 6 times and caught it 5. That stat line wasn't like that here, but it looked more reminiscent of his stat line when he was in Buffalo. What do we need to know about Christian Kirk so we don't get mesmerized by that stat line?
Christian Kirk. I don't know why they didn't read the underline, the back end of Christian Kirk's resume where it says, hey, man, can really play, but is really injury prone. And so his problem is, and his issue is, one, he can't stay on the field. And when he can stay on the field, you got a rookie in Jalen Knowles that plays that same position that is on his heels. And I tell you, on his heels, like I'm talking about at any point in time, Christian's targets and routes could be reduced. And you throw Jalen Knowles in there, and he's going to keep going, keep that offense moving just as if, veteran like Christian Kirk is in there. The problem is he hasn't been on the field enough, James, to build any type of continuity with CJ, any type of continuity with Davis. He's had 2 hamstring injuries.
Gotcha.
And now, so he's just not working himself back to that. But Thursday night, bro, he balled out. I mean, the plays that he made, even though I don't understand why he didn't go out of bounds. How you get tackled in bounds knowing that you only got 1 timeout and 35 seconds left. That's another story for another time. But he was able to make that big catch. He was able to make the catch in the end zone for the touchdown. I mean, he's just, it's just somebody that, I put it like this. If the Texans can make their way into the playoffs, James, he can that veteran presence, that's when he'll be counted on.
But you haven't noticed that he has a drops problem.
Well, he ain't been on the field enough for me to know.
Fair enough, but when they throw him the ball, somehow it magically catches in his hands. I'm trying to build up a case against, well, not against, but just for people to realize that, is it all the wide receivers have a problem with drops, or is it the person that's throwing them the ball? Like, when there's a common denominator, you got to start denominating.
Oh, you trying to say Trevor Lawrence can't make?
He doesn't throw a catchable ball. It's just like when everybody has a drops problem, it's probably you. But that's all. But anyways, man, I appreciate you, dog. I know you got to do your thing. I gotta keep it. My day is packed. I got high school football and all kinds of other stuff, but I'm going on, man. But love you, appreciate you, man. I'm gonna call you again, and when I call you, just if it's in the morning, there's an opportunity that it's not all the time, but if I call you in the morning, oh man, this dude probably finna have me on the show. All right, bro. All right, bye. All right, my bad. Just figure we can get some Texans insight from a Texans beat reporter. Go ahead, Jaden.
We're going to keep on praising the Texans, even though they are our AFC South division rivals. So the Texans defense this season has gotten 11 interceptions and 10 passing touchdowns allowed. They have only allowed 10 passing touchdowns this
That's
far
impressive.
in the season. So it shows you why they're the number one defense as well. And shout out to Will Anderson Jr. I know whoever was on the phone mentioned him with high praise because Will Anderson Jr. has a sack in 6 straight games. Anderson tied Mario Williams for the second longest streak in Texans history, trailing only J.J. Watt, who had a sack in 7 straight games in 2014 through 2015. So high praise for the young defensive edge monster. So the Texans are the first team to have 2 players with 2+ sacks against the reigning MVP and another with 2+ interceptions against him in the same game. And Will Anderson had 2.5 sacks. Daniel Hunter had 2 sacks. And Kalen Bullock had 2 interceptions on the day as well. So shout out to the Texans. But we got to show some love to James Cook because James Cook is the second player in the league this year, the second running back to eclipse 1,000 rushing yards. So shout out to James Cook as well. We got one more thing to talk about, and that's Josh Allen because he was on the move this game. So entering the fourth quarter, Josh Allen has already traveled more yards by distance from snap to whistle than any Bills wide receiver. So they had an update to this stat. Josh Allen ran the third most yards by distance from snap to whistle among Bills offensive players, behind only tight end Dawson Knox and wide receiver Khalil Shakir. So this just means he was on the run for his life. So, James, I wanted to leave this post for last because it involves an NIL, and we are talking about Bills wide receiver Keon Coleman. So, Bills wide receiver Keon Coleman was a healthy scratch in last night's game against the Texans. That means that the player is not able to play in the game, but is fully healthy. So, this is coming off the disciplinary actions that stem from his first healthy scratch game. So, James, bless you. This
Thank
is
you.
Keon's second straight game. He's been a healthy scratch. I know we talked about his first game, but now it's been 2 consecutive games. So, what
It's really his
advice?
off the field attitude that they're worried about. Some of these things were prevalent at Florida State. I'm not gonna gang up on the kid now that we're doing stuff, but like I remember when he made the comment, and a lot of people didn't understand what was going on with that in the Jamie French recruitment, and a lot of those attitudes were him needing to grow up a little bit and mature, and so he didn't understand what was being done and why it was being done. But I think that's why I say you got to. I try to drill into my son into some of these players. You got to start acting right now. Make it a habit because you don't want it to happen there. Because once they peg you one way, the NFL is a very small fraternity in a very small community, in particular with the coaches. So you don't want to get pegged as something that you're not. And I hope that for him.
Hey yo. But yeah, you are definitely right. I do not want to have his resume being tarnished by those coaches because word travels pretty fast and you don't want to be in them group chats with a bad name. So, man, good luck to Keon Coleman in this journey, man. And I hope he's definitely learning from everything that's going on and using it for the better, fueling his performance. Now, let's take a look at the AFC South standings with the Texans win last night. So the Colts are still top of the division with their 8-2 record. Jaguars are second place, 6-4 record, and the Texans are 6-5, right on the heels of the Jags. Don't have to worry about the Titans though; they are 1-9, won only one game this season.
So really, the
As
Jags just got to win. We got a chance again. You got to take your layups. And the Colts have 4 games between the Jags and the Jags and the Texans. I believe the Colts haven't played both their games against the Texans yet, right? I think
I
that.
don't think so.
So I
No.
mean, we got to just take care of business, and the Jags have an opportunity to have everything they want. Even though I kind of do want the Jags to stay right at that 7th spot. Because I wouldn't mind playing the Patriots. Because I'm gonna go to that game.
Oh, I'm like, why would you?
Like it's not. They're not winning. Even if you host, it will be lit, and because it was lit last time we hosted the playoff game. But Jags just got to take care of yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Miles Jack wasn't down, so. But yeah, it's just it is what it is.
That's like remember the Southern.
The South shall rise again.
So, courtesy of PFF, these are the teams with most at stake in regards to playoffs. So, these are the playoff probabilities with a win or loss in week 12. And the Jaguars made this list. So, with a win, they have a 77% chance to make the playoffs. But with a loss, to the Cardinals, they only have a 48% chance of making the playoffs. A notable team on this list is the team of the quarterback in the picture. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. With the win, they'll have a 68% chance of making it. Well, with a loss, they'll only have a 33% chance of making the playoffs in their extremely difficult AFC West division, with the Broncos and the Chargers leading the pack right now. But just wanted to share this with you all. If your favorite team is on this list as well. But we're going to continue to move on with our NFL topic. To my Shador fans out there, we have proof that he is practicing with the first string of athletes on the Brown squad. The Browns took no time to post video of him practicing with the ones on their social media account. You can see him right here. So he's with Quinshawn Judkins right there, former Ole Miss and Ohio State running back. And yes, everybody, you can see him right now getting the reps with the ones. So no excuse right
now. The
now.
cool part is he's playing the Raiders. So there's a good chance that Pat thing. He has a good chance to it really is a tell. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it really is a tell. But hey, you beat the Raiders and now you got even more hype. You've only won 2 games, so give it to him for the rest of the season, man. Like let Shador do his thing. I hope it works out. I mean, I hope it works out. They're just a really crappy team. So
we got some news coming from another Ohio team, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals, the division rival with the Cleveland Browns, because Joe Shiesty is back, everybody, aka Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow was seen taking QB1 reps during individual drills as well. And according to Adam Schefter, the ESPN NFL insider, the signs continue to point to a potential Joe Burrow return on Sunday versus the New England Patriots. So I just want to update you guys with the health of Joe Shiesty. And it sucks to mention quarterback health because for all of my Dirty Birds fans out there, you were met with some sad news regarding your QB1, aka Durag God, aka Michael Penix. So Michael Penix Jr. does, in fact, need surgery to repair his ACL, with 9 months of recovery at least coming. He sought the opinion of experts, including from Dr. Neil L. Atrach, and Penix has an ACL sprain, but full reconstruction is needed. He dealt with leg and knee injuries in college as well. I'm pretty sure he had 2 surgeries in college, and it looks like he's having a third surgery on his legs. So sucks, man. Michael Penix, sucks to see him go out with this injury. Quarterback number 2, Kirk Cousins, will step up in his role and hopefully lead the Dirty Birds to victories. But for all of my Falcons and Michael Penix fans out there, we just wanted to share this news with you all and wish him a speedy recovery in this ACL process. Man, sucks to see.
Damn.
Now we actually have another QB to talk about, and that's Lamar Jackson. So Lamar had this funny quote when a reporter told him that he's already been sacked the same amount of times as last season while only playing in 7 games this year. So Lamar said, GD, I'ma holler at my guys about that man. So Lamar's hoping to get some better protection from his trenches, from his offensive line unit. But this statistic right here is pretty scary that he's already been sacked the same amount of times as last year while only playing in 7 games. So Lamar gotta make sure his guys are on the same page as him in that offensive line. No, we're going from quarterback to wide receivers. James AJ Brown is in the media again, courtesy of Dove Kleiman. So AJ Brown continues to throw Jalen Hurts and Eagles offense under the bus when asked about speculation. He isn't the same player this season. Now, this is from Dove Kleiman, so that's a little bit blown out of proportion, but pretty much a reporter asked him about if he's the same player this season in regards to his stats not being where they would normally be. And this is what AJ Brown had to say in response to that question.
Would you say that there's been speculation out there that you are not the same player you once were? What would you say to those people?
I guess Saquon ain't the same player either. All right. But I don't got no. Okay. Y'all don't believe that.
I didn't say it.
Okay.
He said, I guess Saquon isn't the same player either, especially in regards to statistics not being what they would like to be. But man, everybody's grilling AJ Brown as of late in regards to the Eagles' offensive struggles this year. But wanted to share that with you guys and ask James, is what he said out of pocket, or are people taking things way out of context in regards to the situation?
I think you gotta at a certain point you gotta recognize who's saying that and what their personality is like. I mean, it's the same guy who on the stream said, "I wouldn't play me on. I'm sorry you drafted me. What was it? Sorry you drafted me on fantasy, or I'd bench me." Like, you know, you gotta, and he's got to know too. But like, I don't really think there's no animosity. There's like, wide receivers are divas. When they're mad, they aren't just making sly sarcastic jokes. Like, they're really pouting. Is there some shade in there? Maybe on Paquinto, but nothing like that. But the truth is they're winning games about as ugly as you can win them.
Yeah, and the reporter knows that. He's exactly like you said, they're winning. So at what point are we kind of just trolling?
I just use it in a much smaller capacity, but like, it's simple. Like last week, for those who don't know, we have a quarterback that's really good, a young quarterback. And obviously we didn't have Bryson, but we got really good wide receivers still outside of Bryson. And we did have an 85-yard bomb that got called back because my running back decided to not hold his water and lean forward. But we had 13 yards passing. We had 375 yards rushing.
Okay, so it was still fun game.
Like we won 45 to 14 or 42 to 4. We won 42 to 14. Like, what are they? 9-2, 10-2? What are the Eagles? Like, my brother's like, just like, he's frustrated because he knows it's going to affect his pocketbook because nobody's going to look at that. But at the end of the day, he's winning games. He's probably going to win another Super Bowl or have opportunity to win another Super Bowl.
We wanted to update you guys with the Jets cornerback situation that occurred, and that cornerback's name is Chris Boyd. So for anybody who wasn't aware of the situation, Jets cornerback Chris Boyd who was shot in the abdomen early Sunday outside a Manhattan restaurant, was upgraded to stable condition as police continue to search for the gunman. I got some more news for you guys about this story right here. So the shooting occurred outside a restaurant in Midtown Manhattan. So Boyd was with two other players and a friend when an argument broke out between their group and another group. After leaving the club, Boyd and his group were confronted again, and the situation escalated, leading to him getting shot. So Boyd has undergone multiple medical procedures, and he is now in stable condition. So Boyd, age 29, joined the Jets in 2025, but has not played this year due to a preseason shoulder injury and was on the season-ending injured reserve. So before signing with the Jets, he played for the Vikings, Cardinals, and Texans as well. So
it was a shoulder at first, and now it's a gunshot. Like that man's not looking he's not very lucky right now. But yeah, man. Tough.
finally, that is our information regarding the players in the league. And now we actually have the viewing guide for this weekend's slate of games and a potential parlay builder for you all. So I'm going to share the NFL games with you all in week 12 right now. So last night kicked off week 12 with the Bills versus the Texans. Texans getting that W at home. Then on Sunday, you have the Steelers at the Bears, Patriots at Bengals, Giants at Lions, Vikings and Packers, division showdown, Seahawks versus the Titans, Colts at Chiefs, Jets at Ravens, Browns at Raiders, Jaguars at the Cardinals, Eagles at the Cowboys, division matchup. Got another division matchup, Falcons at Saints, and then you have the Bucks at the Rams. And on Monday Night Football, you have the Panthers versus the 49ers. So with those games, we're going to switch over to Hard Rock and see what James is picking.
I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna go wild. Giants plus 10. Patriots. Now that I know, Joe, give me just Patriots money line. Pack money line. Colts money line. I don't know, man. I go under I go under 44 and a half. I go. I don't think the Titans can score, so so that's 24. That's 28-7 gets me 35. 28-10 gets me 38. I go under for the Titans. Aaron Rodgers isn't playing, right? Gi- Give me the Bears money line. Jags with the Jags with 2.5. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Shadur. Because if we lose, if we win, I'm gonna be like, yeah, see, I have faith. If we lose, I'm gonna be like, God damn it, you lost me my money. Eagles, money line. Shit, I don't even know, man. Who's the quarterback for the Falcons?
Kirk Cousins.
All right, I'm going Captain Kirk. Give me the money line. Bucks. Shit. You know what, Bucks, man? They down for a win, man. They've been, yeah. 49ers money line. Is that the last game? Yeah. So $5 gets me that. All right, I'm rolling with that. If Aaron Rodgers plays, then I'm flipping that. I'm not gonna make my bets until Saturday. So like, if Aaron is playing, then we good. But like, I mean, not we, but the Steelers are good. But if they don't, then I'm going with the fingernail boy. All right.
So now we are at our big games BS section for today, where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world. I mean, outside of the typical, yes, football world. So we're going to start off with our BS or bussin' food review segment, where we show a video clip of some food and wait to see if James gives that food a BS or a bussin' judge. So we are going to look at something I was excited to share with you all, and we want you to spam BS or bussin' in the chat as well if you're viewing the crab rangoon stuffed cheesy bread. So it's a short clip right here. It's 9 seconds. So we're gonna see if you guys rate this a BS or bussin' as well.
Crab rangoon stuffed cheesy bread. I see my
Y'all just doing
working
shit.
these, and they look so delicious. So of course I had to give it a try, and it did not disappoint.
So
Like these women are
James,
gonna be like the BBLs in combination with the food combination that these women are eating. Like in the next generations of grandmas and aunties are gonna look like aliens. Like this is too much, man. Like just get regular recipes, man. But yeah, I'm not that BS.
I've seen a lot of
Jaden, I know your
BS.
girl is amazing, dog. Can she cook, bro? Does she cook this kind of shit, or was she cooking normal food?
Nah, she don't really make nothing extra. I say I do most of the cooking if we,
Okay, well, at least
yeah,
one of y'all. Are
yeah.
you cooking normal shit, or are you cooking shit like this?
Nah, I don't cook normal stuff, but I don't cook like fusion stuff like this. No, I don't really make this.
Because I
No.
like crab rangoon. I don't want it in that though. I really don't even. I'm not a huge seafood and cheese fan too. So like hot seafood and cheese, but like I do like crab rangoon that has the cream cheese. But this is BS, man. Fuck this. This is making me mad. This made me mad.
Have some good news though, coming from the pop culture world. So Chadwick Boseman received his star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he was joined by Wright, or excuse me, Letitia Wright, excuse me, Black Panther co-star, Simone Ledward Boseman, his wife, and Michael B. Jordan, another Black Panther co-star as well. So they posed together with a portrait of Chadwick Boseman and his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And his wife made sure to bring Chadwick Boseman's shoes to the star. That's where you see right there them holding on to the shoes. So shout out to a legend, man. A legend to so many kids out there. Chadwick Boseman was in not just Black Panther, and a bunch of other movies as well. He was in Draft Day. Man, he was in The Five Bloods. He was in 42. So many movies. So much culture he put into the culture.
For a
So
while, he was James Brown. Like
James
he
Brown,
was the
yeah.
only guy playing black people, famous black people for a while. And he was doing all of that knowing what he was going through. That just and then I remember Viola Davis was so critical of him until she found out like what was going on. And it just like, you know, it's just wild to hear some of these things, man. I'm gonna make a little bit light of the situation, but like, hey man, I know in heaven he's saying, hey Mike, man, your head too close to them breasts, man. Like, cause them look very consoling, but like she looks like she gives great hugs. But shout out to him, such a great actor. I wish they would kind of take some of these stars back off the Walk of Fame because, like, there is a difference between him and some of these other people. So, and then
Like,
just to know what Denzel is, was he? Yeah, he was the one who Denzel helped, which was great. It was amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I know that a lot of people want that Diddy star to get removed, but yeah, we'll see about that. And huge shout out to the Bozeman family, and such a great honor getting that Hollywood star for Mr. Bozeman. So rest in power again, Mr. Chadwick Boseman. And Ryan Coogler was also there as well. He gave a heartfelt speech
Did
for.
anybody understand it? I love that Ryan Coogler is who he is unapologetically, but he sounds like how you would want a West Coast gangbanger in a movie to sound. It's awesome. Have you heard have you heard him speak, Jaden?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. He's so West Coast. I love guys like him because, like, if you look in the comments of some of my social media, like, oh, he sounds like they talk about Bryson because Bryson talks like a teenager that ain't had no media training. I sounded way worse than Bryson even at 18, 19. And, like, he'll sound great when it's all said and done, but he's a child. But, like, some of these people just really are just, like, and I try to tell them, some of the richest people that you'll ever meet and most successful people that you ever meet do not speak the Queen's English.
It's refreshing.
Like matter of fact, like they're saying this, like Trump speaks like perfect English. But yeah, man, it's I love all it. I love it, man. I love when people are unapologetically them. Oh, the audio isn't on. Oh, there we go.
All these years. Denzel.
A lot of these guys you don't even know their real names. Like, if I'm being honest with you, like, it's not even like that's not what their name. That's their stage name. That's their business name. So, you know, cool.
Basically, pronounce his name Denzel.
Denzel. It's Denzel Washington.
Yeah, not Denzel.
Not Denzel. And he was just going on there saying that. And the reason why he's called that is because his mother would say Denzel, and both he and his dad would show up. So she would say Denzel or Denzel, and then that's how they get it. And eventually, you start recognizing who the people are talking to. That's just how things happen. So, cool.
We got one last thing before our show ends, and this is a continuation topic from an OG Wyland segment we had regarding Patrick Beverly. So we got a little bit more news regarding the domestic violence situation with Patrick Beverly. So I just wanted to read this before we ended off the show. So he was arrested for allegedly choking and punching his sister at a Texas home. So, according to a probable cause affidavit, this is all courtesy of TMZ. Beverly's sister claimed he picked her up by her neck, feet off the floor, and squeezed for 20 to 30 seconds, causing pain and inability to breathe. Beverly reportedly slammed his sister against the walls and laid her on the sofa and punched her in the left eye with a closed fist. The sister alleged Beverly said he would be the family member to kill her. Aiden Hildebrand, the sister's boyfriend, was at the house and called police after witnessing the incident. Police observed visible markings on the sister's neck and signs with consistent strangulation. Beverly was booked for felony assault in Fort Bend County Jail, but Beverly later denied the accusations on social media, telling followers not to believe everything on the internet. So that's just a little bit more information we have.
For the record, it was third degree felony assault. When you look at it, as well as that man, that her boyfriend was 18 years old, and again, a lot of stuff, a lot of weird things going on in there. But here's what I do know, and we talked about it on the other show, man. Until I seen it happen, man, I will listen to that young lady. I will believe the facts as they get released. That is the most important thing. And something else that I do want to talk about eventually, I want to actually, now that I think about it, if that boyfriend really liked her, he'd have tried to at least tackle him. Like that, just all of that just smells funny because at the end of the day, you probably know you probably shouldn't have been in there with a little girl. And even if he's 18 and in high school, it's still like that's wild because she's 15. But yep, we'll see when Pat gets it. If Pat's wrong, he's wrong. Well, one, if Pat put his hands on her, regardless, he's wrong. But Pat was like, but if Pat is saying like, bitch, I ran in this motherfucker and there was a grown ass man in my house with my sister, I have a problem with that. But the other thing too we gotta keep our eyes on is the OG is wilding. Mr. Push the IED or IUD into her cervix is going against Mr. I need a babysitter in Dallas. Pac-Man Jones versus Steve Smith Jr. Steve Smith Sr., excuse me. We got to keep our eyes on that because there's a lot of shit going on with that one. But I want to see where it ends. But we might be able to have to talk about it on Monday because both of these motherfuckers ain't ending it. Unless you got a little bit of stuff real quick, Jaden. Or is it something else?
No, I was just searching it up because I really didn't have any idea about the
They've been
beef.
calling each other out for some reason, and Steve Smith put a montage of him making Pac-Man Jones look terrible over the years, and like they're going back and forth at each other, and like Steve Smith is like, it's just funny, man, because my guy is single, newly divorced, and doesn't give a fuck about anybody. They already didn't give a fuck about people's opinions, but definitely doesn't care. Like when a guy can just that was wild. One, the guy should have never confronted him, and he's just like, my bad. Like, you ruined my life. My fault. Like he just did, and then the allegations just disappeared. Like nobody's talking about it anymore. Like the subject matter was crazy. Like remember, she said, I think I lost my IED. You pushed it all the way back in me. I'm like, yo, how do you recover from that? I can't put it all in. I can't. I'm like, yo, no, she belongs to the streets. She's no longer for me. You can have her now, Steven. Now she was mid, as mid could get. So, but at the same time, like, damn, boy, my guys are battling at it. Hope they reconcile, but it is still funny nonetheless. As I don't have no problem. I have no parts of it. So cool.
Well, that's all that I had for this Friday's episode of Big Games BS. Any last words to the fans as we close out the show heading into the weekend?
Now make sure you check the channel out for the streams, support those different things coming up. Guys, it costs you nothing just to hit the like button. If it pops up as a notification, please just go there, push the like button, share it on the different platforms. Go catch some good high school football because it's all coming to an end in Jacksonville. We got Tallahassee's own Gabi. They're traveling over here to play Bishop Kenny. It should be like they might have a chance to upset Bishop Kenny, and then you're not gonna win the third round. Neither one of those teams is beating Reigns. I can tell you that much. They don't have enough for it. That'll probably be the first time Reigns plays a team with a pulse. But Reigns is really, really good. Got a lot of firepower. But go see some of those guys who will probably be on MFTK 7-on-7 on the 18U or the 15U teams from out of Gabi. It's cool to see Gabi represent the city since everybody else kind of choked. Childs High School is playing in the Invitational, and shout out to my guy, Coach Reagan, over there doing that. I don't want to give too, and then my guy, white wide receiver, family synonymous for the coldest white people to ever play at Florida State, Friars. Shout out to my guy Fryer over there at Childs, but I ain't gonna get an NIT too much because it doesn't make sense. Like you're either in the playoffs or you're not. But kudos to those guys. Come check out Mandarin. Florida High is playing Bowles. I don't like the energy that Florida High is giving. Bowles is going to be a tough opponent. But I guess Florida High had like 5 major injuries this year. But shout out what Jared's doing, consistently getting them in the playoffs. I hope they do, even though I love Bowles, but it'll make our lacrosse team better if Florida High ends their season. so we can get my lacrosse guys back. But nonetheless, I hope everybody continues to play and win. And then there's a really good matchup, St. Augustine versus Ed White, that should be really, really good at St. Augustine High School. So plenty of high school football going around. Appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. And as always, we will see you guys next time.